Well, hello everybody. Welcome to week 5 here in Introduction to Criminal Justice. We're going to have a really brief weekly update this week. So let's get started by first talking about the exams that we just took, the first exam. Had several people that didn't take it. That's kind of discerning. We need to make sure everybody gets caught up. Your grades are going to suffer if you don't. So other than the individual who's having some technical difficulties getting logged in, we'll get there. We're not going to count that against you. But those that just didn't take it in a timely manner, it's going to come back to bite you. So come on, let's get caught up. Of those that took it, half of y'all made A, B's, or C's, and we've got some concerns about the other half. Now, one thing I've noticed in looking at who did well and who didn't, those that did a good job on the review and the discussion in class and actually looked at other students' discussions had a tendency to do better than those that didn't. So spend some time on that. This course, you're allowed to use your notes. That should be trying to get you to learn to take good notes. If you made in the 40s, you didn't do something that you should have. You were lacking in your study style, or you weren't ready for the exam. So let's kind of work on that. Okay, so now let's talk about our discussion, or the follow-up at least to discussion number 4. The original post on discussion number 4. We were looking at excuse defenses as what the people thought was the most popular, with a total of 4 people saying that was what they found most interesting, talking about excuse defenses broadly. And then we had 3 other students that picked a particular excuse defense. So one looked at necessity, one looked at self-defense, and then one person looked at the affluenza use as a defense, which really isn't in the code, but it worked for the kid. It just didn't work long because he didn't quite learn. The other students thought the amendments was the most interesting thing. One student thought it was the mens rea, the guilty mind, and then another student thought it was double jeopardy. And then the second most popular one was the principles of criminal law, with 4 different students thinking that was the most interesting topic for the semester. Now, don't forget to do your follow-up post on this discussion, and make sure that your discussion includes not just what you think is most interesting for the chapter, but also includes a good exam review. Make sure you get everything completed so that bring those exam scores up. Now, let me get out of the way and we'll talk about what's coming up this week. Let me get in the right location, the mouse clicking on the other screen. Okay, again, I just mentioned the follow-up discussions to post number 4, or the chapter 4 discussion. Also this week we're going to be looking at chapter 5 in your book, which is on the police. So read that chapter in your book, watch the video, take that quiz, making sure you make at least a 70. Go ahead and make 100 on it. It will help you on the exam, so you can retake it as many times as you want. And then finally, we've got the Chapter 5 discussion. Again, make sure you tell us what you think, the most interesting thing you think about the chapter, and complete the quiz review or the exam review portion of it, and directly cut and paste that into your discussion so we don't have to download an attachment. It makes it a whole lot easier on everybody else. Last time, for this last exam, I had several people that did one or the other, not both. The most interesting thing or the discussion. If I find things like that this time, I'm just going to delete those discussions out. They will not count. You need to post both of them, and you need to post them in a single post. So you put first what you thought was most interesting, and right below that, go ahead and put your exam review portion on it, and cut and paste it in there so it makes it easier again. Well, that's all I've got for this week. We will talk to you later.